Okay, so now we're gonna get into the spoilers of the movie. So the first thing I really want to get into is the. Okay, easy. So we were saying in the other video that you definitely get some backstory of how the characters ended up in prison, and that basically features a cameo from Batman, which that's not a spoiler because that was in the trailers. But they actually had a cameo of the Flash in the movie.
Yes.
Which I was not expecting. When that shit happened, like Captain Boomerang's backstory is he was in the middle of robbing a bank, and all of a sudden you see like a blast of lightning, and when he turns around, you see fucking Ezra Miller as the Flash in the full costume that you saw in the Justice League trailer. And it is quick though. It's like 5 seconds of the Flash, but I didn't think they were gonna have him at all. And there was, when they were going into the backstory of Deadshot, which they show a really amazing scene where he kills someone using like angles and stuff. The way that he got brought in is that he was hanging out with his daughter, and Batman just shows up, Ben Affleck Batman, and it was actually really, really good. It wasn't like a full-on fight scene. The way that they did it was that Batman was like, okay, I gotta take you in, and he sees that, you know, Deadshot's daughter's right there, so he's like, don't make me do this in front of your daughter, because he was, you know, Batman just came off of killing I don't know how many people in Batman v Superman, so I guess he didn't want to pound Will Smith into the dirt in front of his daughter. Alright, and then the most interesting flashback was Harley Quinn, which they actually go into. Yeah, Harley Quinn. She was a doctor. She was assigned to the Joker.
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, psychiatrist. She's a psychiatrist. Okay, she was assigned to the Joker, and they kept allowing her to visit the Joker because she thought she was curing the Joker, when in reality, he was twisting her mind, like, really bad. And you actually get to see her go from Harley Quinzel and change into Harley Quinn. And then this is another thing that I found, like, they gave you a hint of it, and then it started to develop more, and I started to realize that this Joker, in the way they portray the Joker in most things, Joker does not give a shit about Harley Quinn.
No.
But Joker in this one seems to... He seems to care, but at the same time, it's kind of like he dislikes that he cares. Because he gives off this vibe. Like, for instance, there's a scene where someone is, like, making eyes at Harley Quinn, and Joker looks like he gets jealous and then fucks the guy up. There's another part where Joker looks like he was pretty much going to leave Harley Quinn to die, and he actually ends up saving her, which is the whole... if you guys know the Joker's backstory, he falls into acid at Ace Chemicals, and he makes Harley go through the same thing. He asked her to pretty much jump into the chemicals, and it looks like he was going to walk away, and he ends up going back. So you learn that story throughout the movie. I thought that was a very interesting thing to do with the Joker, because in all the versions of the Joker we've gotten so far in the movies, we've gotten the really silly Joker from the 66 version where there's no Harley Quinn. We get the Jack Nicholson version where there's no Harley Quinn either, but even the person that he cares about in the movie, he doesn't really care about her either. He just kind of has like the hots for someone, and he's like, whatever. He doesn't give a fuck. He has like people that work for him, but he doesn't really give a fuck. Yeah. The Heath Ledger Joker does not give a fuck about anyone. Like, he was killing his own men. He was risking his own life. This Joker seems to actually care about Harley Quinn. And that's why he's in the movie. He's in the movie for two reasons. Flashbacks, and because he's actually trying to break Harley Quinn out of the detention center they have her in. I forgot what the name of it's called. But I thought it was a really interesting take on the Joker.
I mean, I like Harley Quinn mostly. Like, you know, I liked her story. I liked the interactions that she had with the Joker. They're really good. The Joker, I did feel like, you know, he had this whole gangster thing.
There's definitely...
I mean, it's a different look.
This Joker, Jared Leto's Joker is like a mob boss, right? Like let's pretend you got a guy who runs the mob. He has his own mob, right? He, like, for some reason he came into power, maybe because he was somebody's son or something. But he came into power. But he also likes to go to like EDM concerts and listens to like vaporwave or some shit. I don't know. Because the guy, his style is so interesting. Like, it's like really weird. Like in the Heath Ledger, we were talking about earlier, the Heath Ledger Joker. It's kind of like when he had money, he bought like one suit, and then that was it, just to kind of legitimize himself a little bit. But he wore that one suit the entire movie, and then he looked like shit. Didn't even brush his teeth. This Joker is like he
I
had
have
different
money.
outfits. He's like, I have money.
I
Like
have money.
I have money,
It.
and he wasn't doing some like he wasn't doing no exploding confetti or
Yeah.
some stupid shit like that. This guy was like organized. That there's a part where he's at a club and shit, and Harley's dancing in the club, and he's just there like, yeah, that's my bitch, you know. Like he didn't say that, but he had that whole vibe about him. He's got like button-up shirts open down to here because he's got man cleavage, like.
Yeah, like the gun thing strapped.
Yeah, he's always
The
holstered
holster.
up, man.
He's always holstered.
The guy's gangster as shit, man.
He
It's
has
like
a Lamborghini.
yeah, he had a purple Lamborghini with lights on the inside. Yeah, this guy didn't give a fuck, man. But it was good. Like when I saw all the pictures of that, I was so scared.
Yeah.
Like this is not gonna work. And for some reason, it just works in this movie. And also that's gonna segue into the next thing I want to talk about. All the costumes of the characters were very different than the comics, but the details that are in them are very true to the character and add like another layer. Like one thing that I was pointing out is that Harley Quinn has a revolver, and on the chambers, each one has like love, hate, love, hate. So when she's shooting it, it basically says love, hate on each chamber, which is important because that's like kind of there's a thing that happens at the end of the movie using her gun. But I thought that was cool. Deadshot, his costume had actual. It looked like at one point he had actual guns on his costume. Like one looked like a cannon, but then it looked like he had something that he could just hook up a gun and start shooting the gun from there. Captain Boomerang had a jacket that said Captain on it, and you know, so some stuff you've already seen in stills. But the Joker. Yeah, I know what you mean. The Joker was like his look was very different. Like, and I think the internet has spoken on that. But it was so cool to see him like still be the Joker. He was doing a lot of. His voice is similar to how Heath Ledger's Joker was, but the way that he was acting and the way that he behaved was very unique and different. Okay, yeah, the Diablo character. I don't know that much about the Diablo character, but this guy had a couple of oh shit moments. One is that the guy when he's in custody, he's kind of like a pacifist, and he doesn't want to be Diablo anymore. He doesn't, and you don't really know why he doesn't want to be Diablo anymore. And that's why in our previous video I was talking about there is a point in the movie where the movie does slow down from the action, and you actually get a Diablo story, which you find out that Diablo, although he has this power, he doesn't always control it very well. And his wife or his girl, you know, did they say if it's his wife or his girlfriend? I think it was like his girlfriend. He kept referring to her as his old lady, so I don't know if they were married or not. But pretty much what happened was he was doing crime. His girl didn't want him doing crime anymore, and they got into an argument, and he actually just erupted and killed his entire family. Yeah. Which is why he decided to stop. So that's like one oh shit moment. But then near the end of the movie, the guy becomes a full-on demon. And I like I said, I don't know anything about the character. I don't know if that happens in the comics, but I was not expecting it. And that's one of the things about this movie is that it does a lot of like surprises that you wouldn't expect to see. Another surprise, going back to Harley Quinn in the flashback, she actually wears her original costume, the red and black costume, like for a little while. For a little bit. It's just for a second, but it's like the fact that they put that in there, and then later on when they're giving them back their stuff, she had the costume there and she was like hugging it, but then she went and put on some different things. So I thought that was kind of cool that they did that. I just wish we had more for Killer Croc and stuff, because Killer Croc and this is what I wanted to talk about is in the beginning of the movie, Killer Croc is literally growling at people and hurting people, and growling and then saying one word and growling, and then there came a point of the movie where and again it's that slow part of the movie where they're at a bar and they're talking. And all of a sudden, he suddenly has character. Like, he started making jokes. He called Harley Quinn Shorty, which he wasn't doing in the whole movie. At the end of the movie, he said that he wants BET in his cell and shit. Yeah. I was like, where was all this? And I have a feeling that's what the reshoots was fleshing him out, because after a while, it's just kind of like, oh, so Killer Croc's just going to growl and eat people.
That's how I felt about Boomerang. Like
Captain Boomerang? Oh, yeah. That's another thing. Jai Courtney was actually really good as Boomerang. I wanted more Boomerang though. Like he
Yeah.
was funny. Like he was really funny. But other than he's a guy who throws boomerangs, he didn't have
Yeah,
he
like,
didn't
he
have an
didn't
oh
have-
shit moment.
Yeah, he didn't have anything like special. Like
There was
happen.
never a moment where he did something that I was like, wow, Captain Boomerang's badass. There's a lot of moments where I was like, I like him.
Yeah.
He's funny. He did use his boomerangs, but there was never a moment where his boomerang ability was as like on par with what Deadshot did and what Harley Quinn. There's a scene with Harley Quinn, a fight scene where she was like fighting one guy and twisting around him, and as she's twisting around him, she's shooting other guys. Like there wasn't anything like that for Boomerang. He was like battling with the boomerangs and throwing them, and then that was it. Okay, the Enchantress, which Enchantress is the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, in the trailers they made it look like she was maybe part of the Suicide Squad, even though there was never a shot with them together.
Yeah.
But the Enchantress had a little bit of intro as to who she is, how she got her power, which is she's someone who discovered an artifact.
Yeah.
And the only way you can control her is with a heart that she holds. Pretty much. That was actually a little bit confusing because they said, okay, you can control her with the heart. But then what happens is there's another artifact that's found that is apparently her brother, who's also like a demonic god or whatever. And somehow he gives her the ability to not be affected by the heart anymore. And she, like I said, Avengers type villain. Is she decides I need to create something in the middle of the city that's going to develop over time and destroy the world.
Yeah.
Almost. So that's pretty much the what she does the whole movie after she's being really awesome in the beginning where you could see her teleport. You see cool transformations. You see her do a couple cool things. After that, it's her standing in front of something and building it up for the rest of the movie while turning everybody into like henchmen that all have like these weird bubble faces covered in eyes.
I didn't like those.
It didn't really make sense to me. Like I said, I don't know that much about the Enchantress. I did like her look though.
Yeah, her
like
look
she
was
had
awesome.
she had two different looks. One where she looked like she was like
The Grudge.
just literally pulled out of the cave, like The Grudge meets I don't know what. But she had a really cool look, and then when she becomes like full on, oh, I'm the villain of the movie, she then gets a separate look, which still looked awesome. Like she has like these tattoos and stuff. It's just that I wish, I mean, it is what it is. They weren't going to make 8 movies for these characters.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to happen. I don't see Deadshot ever having his own movie. I don't see anybody in this movie having their own movie. The only one with potential is Harley Quinn, but not her own movie. But not her own movie. She'd be back in another movie with the Joker and maybe like a Batman movie. I don't see Harley Quinn being able to get her own movie because she's funny playing off other people.
She could be roller derby Harley Quinn.
I gotta talk about roller derby Harley Quinn. Let's see, what else? Okay, and also we talked about how in the previous video that the movie links to Batman v Superman. So yeah, they talk about the death of Superman. They talk about all that stuff, and at the end of the movie, the end credit scene was Bruce Wayne talking to Amanda Waller, and him actually looking at the file that has all the different metahumans. So the first page was Enchantress, which they already defeated, but then the next page was Barry Allen and Aquaman, which I don't know how you felt about it, but I was already like, doesn't he know this already?
Yeah, he already found this.
He found that shit out. Like he found the Lex Luthor, LexCorp logo assigned files that showed, hey, look, guy with lightning bolt is that dude.
Oh, wait a second. I think it was because like she had information about them, and he didn't want her to have those files about the people that he's gonna be working with. Maybe.
Like, so you're thinking that he was trying to take the information from her?
Yeah, like he didn't want her to know who these people are. So she was.
But she knows already. Like, she would never just hand over a file and be like, that is the only copy of all this information that I have.
Yeah, but he's something about, like, leverage. Like she didn't want, him to have something over her or something like that. Like, I didn't hear very well. But.
Yeah, that seemed like it went by like that. It was one of those scenes where they tell you something and you gotta catch it and analyze it. But I was a little bit confused because he didn't go as Batman. He went as Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he kind of put himself out there, and Amanda Waller said something that made it seem like she knew he was Batman.
It's like, oh my god,
and which
everyone knows who Batman is. Like, the Flash knows.
Jessie has a problem with DC entertainment in general. Okay, she feels like she doesn't like watching The Flash because everybody knows who Barry Allen is. She doesn't like watching Green Arrow because everybody knows who Green Arrow is. And then now it's kind of like, okay, Batman is the one character that is so careful about his secret identity that only the people that he would die for know who he is. And it's like, oh, Amanda Waller, who could just come to his house and kill him, has an idea that he's Batman.
Amanda Waller and Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor kind of... Well, no, Lex Luthor didn't know who he was. Did he?
You don't want to pick a fight with this guy.
He knew who Superman was.
But he knew they were going to fight.
Like, yeah, but he didn't know... Okay, we're getting off topic.
Whatever. Okay.
We're starting to rage over Batman v Superman again.
Whatever.
Okay, and again...
Everyone knows.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's very un-Batman-like for him to just kind of show his hand and be like, hey, I'm Bruce Wayne. I own a really big company. Yeah. Give me a file about metahumans. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, like...
I'm interested in that.
She would just pop that up.
And she's like, okay, Mr. Bruce Wayne person. Well, also, if he's Bruce Wayne, he probably funded something for her. But, I mean, it's at the same... It was a little weird. I just thought it was overkill with... He already knew who these people were. And then he went as Bruce Wayne to then ask for more information on them. Like, I don't know. I felt it was... I think the LexCorp files... would have it. Like, they should have had it already. Because they already had the logos. They went through the trouble of making logos. They must know who these people are. They definitely knew who Cyborg was. So, I really don't... I didn't see the purpose of... It wasn't... Basically, it wasn't an effective end credit scene. It was just like, hey, guys, look, Ben Affleck... Ben Affleck should have just, like, when he got up from the dinner table, it should have just been like this. Alright, I'll be seeing you. And then just walk away, because it's just like, hey... I'm in this movie. It's linked to the DC Universe. Be ready for Justice League. Justice League's going to be good, I swear to God. And I'm directing the next Batman film. Did you guys hear? I'm directing the next... It's not Zack Snyder. I'm going to be directing the next Batman film. Please, come. P.S. I'm turning 50. I don't got much time. He might as well just done that. He should have just been like, all right, Amanda Waller, enjoy your dinner. Justice League coming 2017.
What I was just thinking about is, like, I didn't like her character too much.
Well, you're not supposed to like her.
No, like, I mean, like, how she portrayed it, because in the animated movie that we watched about Suicide Squad... Are you talking
about Attack on Arkham? Assault on Arkham.
Assault on Arkham. Like, I feel like that lady was, like, evil, you know? Like... I mean, she did kill those random people that were like, oh, they were... Oh, yeah,
Amanda Waller straight up was like, oh, you got, like... Because the whole mission was...
I didn't fear her, you know? Like, I don't know, like, she wasn't, like...
The thing is, there's different interpretations of Amanda Waller, but she's always kind of, like, cold-hearted bitch.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're talking about in the animated one, she was more like, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers. Like, here she was kind of like, I'm gonna assign this task to this guy and let him handle it. But there's a scene where Amanda Waller was like, oh, these people came to help me out. Oh, but they don't have clearance. And then she, like, herself pulled a gun and killed, like, 4 FBI agents. Like,
which made me think, how come she just handed something to, like, Bruce Wayne when he obviously didn't have clearance? Like,
apparently he has some kind of fucking clearance. I don't know what the clearance is, but I think they could have just... If they would have left that end credit scene out, it wouldn't have an effect on the movie. I think it was just to get people... you know, excited. Which I also found it funny that they even did an end credit sequence because DC has been, you know, not been doing that. Oh, the visions. We haven't talked about the visions that the Enchantress did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene in the movie where the Enchantress is trying to convince the Suicide Squad, you know, to come and join her, to not fight her, to join her. And the way that she does is that she basically tells them, I can give you whatever it is that you want. And when she says that, they each have a vision. So Deadshot has a vision of the night that Batman took him in, that he actually shot Batman in the fucking head and killed him.
Yeah.
And then this character, Colonel Flag, which is the guy who's dating the human version of Enchantress, he visions that he's just with the girl and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn had the most interesting one Because Harley Quinn, in her vision, she was in a nice house, holding a kid. She did not have any of her tattoos. Her hair was just blonde. It didn't have anything. And there's 2 kids in the house, and she turns, and you see the shoulder of what has to be the Joker. And I'm there thinking, oh, okay, he's going to be like crazy-looking Joker. He actually looked like just Jared Leto, the actor.
Yeah, like
eyebrows and everything.
Eyebrows, no tattoos.
And I've just been thinking about that since we left the theater, and what me and Jesse on the drive home, what we were talking about is it's either that Harley Quinn is so crazy that she actually thinks Joker is a normal person, a normal person, or that she actually sees the Joker, like the normal person that's behind the Joker. Like maybe deep down she thinks she could still cure him, in a way. So it's either she's completely batshit crazy and she thinks that they're completely normal, or she thinks that there's a normal person behind him and there's actually a future with him where she's married and everything. Like she even says, "Oh yeah, I want to get married."
Yeah.
Like, I think she's gonna have her heart broken.
Yeah.
I think she's set up for disappointment. And then Diablo is the one who snapped everybody out of it because he saw that his wife, his girl, was still alive.
Yeah.
But he knew because he's been dealing with it. He's like, I know this ain't real.
Yeah.
Like he actually Diablo, for being a guy covered in tattoos, he actually had a lot of sense.
Yeah, he was like the one.
He was the most sensical one. It was him. It was him and Deadshot fighting for logic in everything. Left to say about the movie, the characters were fun. Oh yeah, before I forget, so the little the touch at the end of the movie where they defeat Enchantress. Yada yada yada. They need to blow something up. Killer Croc has this device that has explosives, and he's throwing it into this vortex of evilness. And the whole scene is in slow motion, and Deadshot has no guns left. His ammo ran out. So Harley throws the gun, and when he catches the gun, it's all in slow motion. He's about to shoot the thing. He sees a vision of his daughter asking him not to shoot, which is actually a replay of what she said when he ran into Batman in the beginning of the movie, asking him not to shoot Batman. He, at that moment, knew it was not real. So when he goes to shoot, Harley Quinn's gun that has love-hate on the chambers, when he shoots it, it actually reads love when he's done shooting it. I thought that was, like, awesome that it did that. Because it's like, this is a guy who murders people for a living. and like, he just wants to provide for his daughter, bro. Give him a break. And then,
he just wants to be a criminal.
Yeah, he's doing it to pay the bills. He's doing it to pay the bills. He even helps his daughter with homework at one point, and they use an analogy of shooting a gun from miles away to teach her about angles. And one more little detail about Harley Quinn that I loved was when Harley Quinn, at one point, she's getting saved by the Joker, and there's a rope. She was actually doing, like, circus rope tricks. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Oh my god. There's so many good things about this movie. Like, I really don't see how people can be hating on it. The only thing I could say you could be hating on it is it's an action movie, but I feel like this movie has about as much heart or as much good feelings and fun about it as, like, Guardians of the Galaxy did. The only difference is Guardians of the Galaxy is, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy, and they focused on one character and then introduced the other ones slowly. This movie was like they introduced everybody at once and then gave you backstory on the ones that were important.
Yeah.
So, it's a good movie. I recommend it. Jesse recommends it.
Yes, I do.
Please go watch it. Support this movie because DC needs help. Okay, I started reading some bullshit. No, actually, let me look it up right now. I was reading some bullshit. The same kind of shit that happened with Fan Four Stick, where the movie gets bad reviews, and all of a sudden we hear all these rumors about, you know, there was drama behind the scenes. It's like for the last year, I've been hearing, of course, the internet's not working, so I can't even look up the shit. But for the last year, I've been hearing about how Jared Leto has been the Joker, like, for the entire time he's been filming. Crazy antics between the cast members. Margot Robbie giving everybody on the cast suicide, like a tattoo. People celebrating, you know, Margot Robbie's birthday with a Harley Quinn cake, and then Jared Leto gave her a gift as the Joker. Like, I think a lot of these things are just bullshit rumors. If they did happen, they did a good job of covering it up. But this movie is not a bad movie at all. Please go check it out. And that's all I got to say about that.